Hey, what's going on, everybody? I don't know what this called, what we gonna call it, but
Married life, the ups, the downs, the turnarounds, but through God, you can stay together.
or the marriage counseling podcast.
How about we stop moving the swing?
Okay,
The
so
marriage podcast.
the marriage podcast. So how long we been married for?
11 going on 12
In
years
March
this
it'll
year.
be 12 years,
March the 25th.
and I think what would be the first thing? It's like, how do you know? Did I? Did you let me find you, or did you find me? I think that's probably one of the most important things.
I think the most important thing to know as a woman is okay, I just say it like this. Let me just keep it real with
I'll see
with
you
the
gonna,
audience.
you gonna try to be
Okay.
political.
No, I'm not being political. Okay, so I've been knowing my husband ever since we was in high school. I've been knowing of him. However, when I was waiting for a husband, I know that I was attending church and I was so faithful and making sure that I did everything that I could to please God and to be a servant leader while I'm there. So anyway, make a long story short, Michael came into the service one day and I saw this tall giant of a man walk into the service. And me being so tall, I'm a very tall woman. But when I saw him, I said, "Now wait a minute, who was this?" And I'm in the choir stand, y'all. So
So-
just know that
So tall means like you like 5'9", 5'10"?
6 foot.
6.
I'm 6 foot, y'all.
I'll give you an inch. Okay. Okay. All right.
So every person, it seemed like I was only taller. Well, I was taller than everyone except for a couple of people. Well, even then, they wasn't single. So I was just waiting on God to send someone, and here he come.
But what I will say is, ladies, God may have a man for you, and he may be preparing that man for you, because he definitely had to do some preparing for me, right? Would you agree to that?
He had to do some preparing with both of us.
Yeah, but the thing is, waiting on God to prepare the right man for you, you don't want to put yourself in positions where the man that he's preparing for you may not be. He might have to prepare another man for you now, based on what your expectations are, or what you're praying for. You know, you want to. I guess you would guess that they want like high earner men, and they want these unicorn kind of men. But
Well,
then go ahead.
when any woman is waiting on a husband, it depends on that woman. So
Right. Yeah.
when you're thinking about marriage and what's important to you, what you will value the most is what you'll seek after. And so even when you have someone that's trying to establish a courtship with you, if you value money the most, then you're going to be going after men that have money, and those are the ones that's going to be more valuable to you. But when a woman is waiting on a husband, the thing that we should always be mindful of is be mindful of a man that first loved God, that is
Yes.
a praying man,
Yes.
and that would allow God to lead and guide him, because
Yes.
that's someone that is willing to change and not be stuck in their ways.
And I guess what I'm saying is, along with what you're saying is, if you want somebody, like, your values and expectations could change based on the choice that you make. Like, not looking at it from a judgmental standpoint. We're just talking about the reality of how life go. Let's say if you have a kid before you get married, like, does that change the way, the expectations of things, or how things have to be looked at now? I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, again, for me, that would have changed the whole dynamic of our relationship, because I'm not, at that time, I didn't have any children.
Right.
And so I was still technically wanting to be the first to provide that son, so if my husband if he already had a son, well, I'll just say this. If the guy is trying to court me and he already had a son or he already had a daughter, then that put me in a limbo,
It's a
because
tough choice to make.
that wasn't something that I wanted as far as with that initial beginning.
And you have the right to say no. Like, if I would have had a kid before I met you, you would have had every right to say, nah, that's not you have, what am I trying to say? You have that choice. Sometimes people give up their choice so fast, and okay, and you get in a situation, that you don't want to be in, without slowing down and thinking about that choice that you're making, I guess.
But that's when you have to know yourself.
That's true. Yes.
Everybody have their own expectation of what a relationship is and how should it begin.
Right.
And so you already have those ideas in mind, what you want and what you don't want. For me personally, I can just say this. I didn't want anybody that had children. And it wasn't something that I'm trying to say is a negative thing for anyone else. Yeah. But for me, I wanted to be able to establish a family together with my husband and have his first son, have his first daughter, and us have children together, enjoy that experience together. Because I was still young when we began dating. We was 20 I was 27. Well, and you was 28 when we started dating. Yeah. So if we were older in life, say for instance, we started dating now, we're close to our 40s. You're already 40, but I'm still in my 30s. I'm still a little young whippersnapper. Now anyway, but I'm still young.
Okay.
I'm in my 30s still, y'all.
All right.
But if we would have started dating now, my mindset would have been different because now we are older, we're more established. And so this is not the time to be trying to still find yourself. You should know who you are, and now you're trying to fulfill those goals and dreams that you have in life.
I guess since we kind of still just trying some stuff out. Before we get up out of here, I guess this probably be the last thing I say is what I'm trying to say in so many words is setting yourself up for marriage, man or woman. I think we have to start teaching our youth that making those decisions and choices to set you up for marriage versus, out here just, playing the casino, pulling the slot machine, hoping you get 3 cherries. And they don't work like that all the time, taking that gambles.
Well, the first thing when you're younger, you're establishing yourself. You're starting to try to figure out, who am I?
Right.
And so when you're in high school, you're making that decision, what career pathway do I want to go in? And then once you graduate high school, you're venturing out to try to pursue whatever that career pathway is. Well, in the meantime, you're still developing as a human being. You're still learning how to navigate through this world and how to make grown-up decisions. This is probably your first time ever experiencing any freedoms and being in a situation where now you can decide for yourself without having to ask for permission. You're in college, you have your own dorm room, you got to make decisions. And so when you are granted with that type of freedom, then also you have if you want a companion, you're trying to get out there and date and see who out there is suitable for you. It's not just about the outer appearance. Right. It's not just about how much money this person make. Mm-hmm. The first thing that I would ask any woman to really first do is ask God, what do I need in my life? Because when you're discovering who you are in your early 20s, that's a process. Yeah. And that's not something that you should take lightly. Mm-hmm. I know that in my discovering phase of who I was, I ventured out. I did some things that wasn't always the right thing to do. However, I always learned from my decisions. Right. So whether they were good or bad, I sat back and I studied that decision and realized, okay, this is why this was a bad decision. Right. Dating this guy, what was the benefits of dating him? What was the disadvantages of dating him? Right. And that helped me to be able to say, well, God, this is what I want in a husband. This is what I desire for a spouse. However, it's not about my will. Whatever you desire for me to have, help me to see what would be beneficial to me that you give me. Not, we as women, we get caught up in our emotions. And so when we are looking at things from an emotional standpoint,
sound effects.
when a man, when he know how to sell dreams, so when you engage in dating someone that actually know how to get you at a position
Did
to
I
where
say your dream?
I wouldn't say you sold me a dream, but you had a mouthpiece. I just say it like that.
Oh yeah.
You know how to talk and make me laugh. I think that's the most important thing. That for me, I was so serious, and I still am. I
Right.
struggle with that from time to time because I could do the same thing over and over again, and it don't bother me. But
So
not
before-
everybody operate the
So
same
before
way.
we close out, come on, MJ. Come on, y'all. Y'all know y'all want to
Come
get
on,
in the video.
babies.
Come on, man. Come on, dude.
These are
What's
our
your
pride
name?
and joys.
My name is Michael Gray.
Get over here.
So these is our kids,
Our little duplicate.
Mike Jr. and
I-
Naomi.
No,
I am Groot.
no.
And let us know if you want to see more.
He's Mr. Okalot.
Mr. Okalai.
And you're Mr. And you're.
Okay. So let us know if you want to see more content.
Hey.
We still trying to come
Hey.
up with a name, but we just trying out. We just pulled the camera out, so let's just make something. And stop doing it. So let us know if you want to see more of this content. Anything y'all want to say
Roblox.
before we sign out?
Can we do a Roblox video?
Yeah, can we do a Roblox video?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can behave and listen to what we say.
Pop, pop.
And maybe you just may do that.
Okay.
So what you want to say before we close out?
I would like to say two things. Always put God first in anything that you do, whether it be in your decision making and more importantly, choosing people to be in your life. But also introduce God to your children and let them develop a relationship with God as well. So let it be a family affair, going to church and just being who God wants you to be in life.
All right, guys, we signing out. Thanks for watching.